Uh, no, you're fine. I was gonna say. So you said you just celebrated your 25th year in the business or in May.
In May.
What? So you've wrestled multiple generations of wrestlers. Obviously, you were talking about how you're watching over Ricky Morton's kid. So obviously multi generations is happening. What do you feel wrestlers coming up can do better? And then also, where do you see the world of pro wrestling going?
Well, so especially from where I'm sitting now versus where I broke in,
Mm-hmm.
It's funny when you break in, you've got all the answers, right?
Of course.
You know what you want to do and you know how to do it. And then with age, and I'm pretty sure this is all in all avenues of life. I just know the pro wrestling life because it's what I've lived for 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
The older you get, the more you realize, oh, I know nothing. Like I'm completely clueless. But the one thing that I try to impart on kids, and I'm real big on, when I broke in, it was very hard to get a mentor. It was just tough. Guys kind of wanted to have their spot and keep their spot, and they weren't as eager to give back. I try to be the opposite, where, and a lot of this actually has to do with CM Punk. So when CM Punk, right before he signed with WWE, when he was still doing the Indies and Ring of Honor and stuff like that, him and I became close because he was good friends with Jimmy Rave, who was my best friend.
Right.
And so, but Punk was always giving me advice. He would always, hey, send me a match. Let me, if you want me to critique it, I will. Like, yes, please. Like, dude, at this point, it's known that he's signing. Like, we all know he's out the door. He's going to bigger and better things. And even afterwards, when he's in OVW, hey, you got anything, you got anything you want to send me? Yes. And so after, 2 years of this, I asked him, like, hey, man, what do I owe you? Like, can I take you out to dinner, or, what can I, you've given a lot to me for zero reason. How can I pay you back? And he goes, oh, you don't owe me anything. He goes, if you want to do something for me, pay it forward. And I genuinely take that to heart. So, especially with the NWA right now, there's a very big youth movement. There's a lot of young kids that have a lot of tools that I didn't even have, but don't know quite how to use them. I'm real big on pro wrestling is all of our form of art. I think it's the greatest form of art in the world. It's so interpretive. It's so, it can be anything. It can be so much to so many people in so many different ways. And, that's, to me, that is the beauty of pro wrestling. And so I try to remind the kids, hey, the magic of art is being able to last a lifetime. Just doing one thing one night is cool. But, the Mona Lisa is forever.
Yeah.
Keep that in the back of your mind, right? We want moments that can live forever. Forever. That's a long time. So don't kill yourself every night. So when you get the opportunity to make that forever moment, you can't. It's as much physical as it is mental. Please be smart. You might get an ooh and an ah tonight, but it's forgotten tomorrow.
Right.
Let's figure out how to make that one ooh forever. And that's, I try to impart that on all that. And again, so circling back, I think that's one of the reasons Dr. Tom has taken a liking to me. Because he's seen me, try to mentor the kids. And hey, again, do as I say, not as I did. I did the stupid things so you don't have to. but that's the big, like, if I could, I try to impart it on anybody and everybody that's willing to listen. Like, hey, let's make these forever moments forever. Let's not just make it for tonight.
I love that you say that, and I've heard that from so many different wrestlers. I mean, you always hear the interviews where the guys will say, "Oh yeah, the old timer told me to slow it down. Don't do so much," and they're not wrong. Like you need to slow down because first off, like you need the crowd to be able to follow along with the story, catch up, catch their breath. Especially if you're taking them on the roller coaster, if you're going up down up down up down up down. Where are they supposed to catch their breath at? You've got it like, I'll take it back to the Kanye West song Slow Jams. Like he made a slow rap song that worked because, girls don't want to be dancing in the club all the time, need to go get water. What if they need to take a breath? So, and you like rest holds, like that's not a rest hold. It's not, it's kind of for you, but it's also for the fans because they need to take in and they need to build back up so that they can get behind that, face that is in the headlock or whatever so that they can get behind them, root for them, get them to the ropes. It's all about the build and the climax at the end of it.
So right before, actually right as COVID hit, the world shut down.
Yeah.
Austin, he had suffered an Achilles injury, and at the same time, Jey Uso had gotten hurt. This is right before he came back as the main event Jey run. And so the world shut down. Well, Georgia didn't really buy into that. We shut down for about 23 minutes, and I'm like, it's good. If you die, you die. Whatever.
I live in Texas. I know how that was. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, it was. Someone coughed, and the governor was like, we can't stop it. Open the state back up. But anyways, Woods had hit me up and was like, hey, do you got a ring we can get access to? I need to get back in the ring. I kind of want to get loose. I don't want to have to go to Florida, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, we can get us a ring. So I got a ring, and it was me and Woods and Jay and then a couple of local guys that I know that I thought, they can really learn. Here's an opportunity to learn from guys that are on TV that have killed it on television. Get to meet them and roll around with them, and there's bodies for Woods and Jay to bump around or whatever. And one thing Jay said in it, we weren't doing a full boogie match, but we were doing spots together. And at one point we had both come down and I started selling away from him. And he goes, that's it right there. He goes, do you guys see this? And that's just, it wasn't even a thought I had. It was just creating space for creating space's sake so I could sell up without rushing into the next spot or, clumsily running into him. And he goes, Jay stops me real quick and he goes, guys, that's where your money's made. It's not what you're going to do. It's not what you do. It's how you get to it. It's the anticipation. It's the upward climb of that roller coaster. It's when the thrill of the roller coaster isn't necessarily when you drop. It's that click, click, click,
mm-hmm.
click, 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 click. And it's just one of those things where like you hear it, but it doesn't really translate in your brain until you hear it from a different avenue. And then it's like, oh man, that is 1,000,000,000% correct. It was great to see the light bulbs come on in the kids' eyes that I had brought there. But they were just like, oh,
yeah,
that's the magic.
Like, I don't know, because obviously, you when you came in the business, you're kind of a bridge from the old school to the new school because roughly, with Shawn Michaels, the Rey Mysterios, and obviously the Seth Rollins and the Claudios, like you're seeing the progression of, work a body part for 20, 30 minutes as opposed to now we're doing suicide dives, now we're doing superplexes, now we're doing a lot of more fast-paced things on a regular basis, and your cardio has really got to be up. So, it's amazing. Like, you're the bridge, and so it's great that you are able to still have the old school mindset of, slowing it down, but also understanding that, we are building to that next thing. And, go ahead.
We can't, we can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. We can't go back to 30 minutes. Right. Secret's out. We can't go back to that. There's been nights where I was like, God, I wish, but I'm also a sucker for y'all. Like, that's the thing, and I think that's what helps me with the kids too, is that they know, like, oh, I love a good high spot. I'm like, you do something spectacular, sign me all the way up, But
right, of course.
If we're gonna do it, make it count. Don't just do something spectacular for spectacular's sake. Do it, do it where it counts, because that's where your forever memory lands.
Yeah, I definitely see that, and I love that you are, preaching that to the younger wrestlers coming up, because I think, I'm not saying we've reached the peak of, just crazy no-sell high spot, but I do think that we're seeing it on AEW on a regular basis, and obviously now it's getting into WWE as well, but they're making those high spots count, and they're making it, it is part of the story as much as it's a crazy spot that they're putting in there. It is part of the story, like we saw with the Lucha Brothers and the Young Bucks with their crazy match that, even they said they'll never do again. But it was telling stories. It wasn't just crazy high spot danger, crazy hot spot danger.
Thank you so much to Sal Rinauro for being on the show. Again, this was part 1. Part 2 is out right now. Go listen to that. Again, as you can tell, this man has got some stories in him. So definitely make sure to check out part 2 as well. Speaking of going to do, make sure to follow us on our social medias. It is Brewsers Pod. That is BREWSERSPOD on the Instagram, the Threads, and the Twitter. If you would like to send us an email, it is brewserspod@gmail.com. And if you want to follow me directly, it is Roadie John. That is RODIEJON. Roadie John is the name on the Twitter and on Untapped. Find out what I'm drinking, and maybe we can have a beer together. And if you want to follow me on the Instagram or the Threads, it is official Roadie John. And if you would like to send me an email directly, it is roadiejohn@gmail.com. So until next time, make sure to enjoy life, drink local, and cheers.